Hello and welcome back to this deep dive series on the universities all across the country. Today we are looking at the McCombs School of Business at UT Austin, and we are joined by Patricia Bacalao. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Very
got
good.
it.
Oh, wonderful. And Tyler Lyons. So we love doing these deep dives. We love learning more about these programs. And to kind of get us started, as always, I'll kick it over to you, Spencer.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Patricia and Tyler, thank you for your time today. Again, yeah, for those who maybe this is the first time they're watching one of these deep dives, it's really about us putting ourselves in your shoes. You're looking at graduate schools, you're wanting to understand UT Austin and the McCombs School of Business a bit better, and it's particularly from the lens of a real estate student. And so we brought on Patricia and Tyler. They are MBA candidates at UT, focusing in real estate. Correct.
Correct.
And so let me kick it off. I'll start with you, Patricia. Just an open question. What does it mean at UT to be a real estate student? Like, what does that mean in terms of how you study, how different your day is, what type of activities you're doing? Like, what does it mean to be a real estate student at McCombs?
Yeah, I think it means that you're part of a really tightly knit community. I mean, it's about 15 to 20 of us per year that focus on real estate. And I think we have the benefits of having a lot of great classes and programs that are specific to real estate, but also the access of a great MBA program and a great university. So, I take classes that are specifically focused on real estate, but also I can take a marketing class. I can take class that's more about like public policy, like Tyler is. So there's a big gamut of options and a way to like really enrich the understanding of real estate through this access.
Yeah, interesting. So Tyler, expand on that a little bit. If I'm trying to get a real estate business education from UT, how many courses in real estate am I taking? Like, how many credits is that? And when am I taking those courses? Is it happening in the first semester, or do I have to wait till my second year? And then talk maybe a little bit more about the types of courses that are offered at UT for real estate concentrated students.
Sure. So those classes begin in your first year. In the second semester, so spring semester, you're going to be able to take electives. One of the things that sets the UT real estate program apart is the real estate fund class that we have, where MBA students are going to learn. Well, it's a two-part class, but in the spring you're going to learn about REITs and how real estate securities are traded in the public markets, and you're basically going to pitch certain REITs. You're going to break into different groups, cover lots of different sectors, ranging from data centers to office, and you're going to pitch your idea to the professor and to the class, and then you're going to invest real money that the fund provides into those REITs. We actually just talked, I think 2 days ago, Patricia, about how those REITs perform. So that's a really great hands-on class. The second part of that class is in the fall of your second year, and you're going to be looking at private equity deals to invest into. You're going to present again, and then the class is going to decide how to put potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars into a deal. So the real estate center is very well funded, and they allow us to use that funding to invest in deals so that students can it's a little more real and they get an idea of what they need to do. Many other classes provided. Patricia and I both took real estate investment decisions with the professor, is a local developer in Austin who comes in and teaches that, very successful local developer. Lots of other classes you can take as electives in your second year. Real estate law, a practicum class where you're basically doing case studies. What else am I missing here, Patricia?
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot of practical learning, which in real estate is helpful, right? I mean, real estate, it's all about just practice. So there's not a lot of theory. We're almost Neanderthals in this industry, and it's like, okay, I want to go out and do a deal. Teach me how to do a deal, and it sounds like you get a lot of that. That's really exciting. So that's classroom. What about outside of the classroom, right? Are there practical what's the word I'm looking for? Activities that you're doing? Are there clubs that you're participating in? Are there treks that you're taking, trips domestically or abroad, where you're learning about real estate? Maybe Patricia, why don't I kick you to that one? Talk to us about extracurricular activities specific for real estate students at UT.
Yeah. So a lot of that is organized through the Real Estate Center at McCombs. That's led by Mandy Pope, and we also have the executive director named Mark Roberts. And what they do is they organize the treks. Under normal times, we would go to New York once a year, go to all the major cities in Texas. Last year we did a San Francisco trek. So we have ways to get out of the city and explore different markets and talk to people in really high positions in great offices all over the country. They also organize case competitions. We have the National Real Estate Challenge that's hosted by UT every year. That's
I participated in it once. Yeah. And UT always puts up a really good team. I swear there's some home court advantage thing going on there, but yeah, right. So the national case competitions, very well known, and all the major real estate programs participate in it. Anyway, keep going. I apologize for.
Yeah, no, and Tyler and I both did it last year.
It sounds like maybe your team did not perform as well as the UT team.
Well, we made it to the final round. We got third place, but so we didn't do so bad. But no, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good chance to rub shoulders with like the top individuals in the industry, and to meet real estate students from universities all across the country.
Yeah.
The real question is how did UT do that year?
I don't recall, but I don't believe they made it to the final round. So, which is rare. They usually have really good showing in that. And now somehow USC tends to do really well, and I swear that that's all they do is they spend their time like thinking about how they're going to win this competition. But anyway, keep going, Patricia. Yeah.
No, I mean, we both did it last year, and it was a lot of fun, and I think we all learned a lot too about how real estate really works and how we can structure presentation. So it's again part of like the same hands-on learning. What else do we do? We have a lot of info sessions, a lot of panel discussions organized by the Real Estate Center. And then in order to, outside of the more professional sphere, we have GRAS, Graduate Real Estate Society, which is like the MBA and graduate level club. That's more social. It's more about bringing students together and having fun, making connections.
Good. Tyler, anything else to add, or a particular extracurricular activity related to real estate at UT that you participate in that you think is worth reinforcing or bringing up?
I think Patricia hit all of them. Those treks, but just to reinforce, the treks are a great time. Hopefully, things begin to subside and we can begin traveling again, because it's awesome to get to go places like the top of the Salesforce Tower, and also, amazing buildings in New York, or even just walking around Austin and seeing the development that's going around here.
Good. So let's keep on you, Tyler, for a second. Let's talk about career support, right? So you come from the Midwest, so you're not a Texan, you're an outsider. Now you may not intend to end up in Texas, and that's actually a second half of my question. The first half, though, is talk to us about career support. What offerings does McCombs have for real estate students, or maybe even alumni support?
Yeah, well, I actually bought my first pair of cowboy boots the other day, so I'm now an insider.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, Patricia talked about the Real Estate Center earlier, and that's really a great resource that we have here. So instead of it all being run through the students who are, having to deal with classes and other things as well, or a career services department that's focused not just on real estate, we have a dedicated center with 4 employees, I believe, that's entirely focused on helping MBAs and undergrads interested in real estate get jobs.
Great.
So they're a great resource to lean on. That's how a lot of people find their internships, find their careers. They expose us to employers through a number of different ways. And then as far as, I would say, yes, I'm from the Midwest and I came down here. I do want to stay down here. Austin's a great town, but so going to UT gives you access to one of the biggest alumni networks in the world. And I've been able to hit up people on LinkedIn that maybe got an MBA or maybe did UT finance studies here, or are now major players in the real estate industry in another city. And they've always, I think, every single one of them's gotten back to me. I can't remember anyone not responding to me. So that network is huge as far as careers go. And, for instance, I worked for a firm this summer. It wasn't located in Austin. It wasn't located in Texas. I mean, they only had offices in Zurich and Singapore. So UT has a global reach. And if you're interested in going to a city like New York or San Francisco, we have people there. But obviously, we're well represented in Dallas, Houston, and Austin too.
Yeah. So let's keep on that thread for a little bit, Patricia. A lot of the people listening right now don't live in Texas. I spent 4 years in North Texas, and I feel a little bit of the Texas pride, even though I'm now in Colorado. Do those who are there job opportunities? I guess the first question is: Are there job opportunities outside of Texas? If there are, could you give us a feel for what proportion of people stay in Texas versus move on to geographies outside of Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas is like a really great spot to start a career. But we also have we do have a lot of outreach outside. I think one silver lining from the fact that we can't travel anymore is we're doing a lot more things virtually, so we can have a wider reach. And that's something the Real Estate Center is focusing on, is inviting alumni that live in Atlanta or New York or LA or San Francisco, and being able to make those wider connections. Then it's easier than having somebody travel to Austin. Actually, I lived in LA before coming here. So I was from Houston, but then I moved to New York and then LA and then came back to Texas. So I definitely ventured out a little bit. So I understand the appeal of wanting to maybe go back. But I think there are a lot of really good opportunities, especially because a lot of companies are maybe headquartered in Texas, but have offices all over the country and all over the world. So
no, that's a good point, especially as it relates to real estate. So I was in Dallas, and virtually every real estate company of note has an office either in Dallas, Austin, or Houston, right? And so there are plenty of recruiting opportunities, even if your intention is not to stay in Texas. I don't know why you wouldn't stay in Texas, because that's a great place to live, and especially Austin, by the way. And that's actually my next question, is about kind of the social life. And I mean, what a great place to go to school, Austin, Texas. But in terms of recruiting, you're going to have access to all the major companies, even if your intention is to go back to New York or move back overseas or what have you. Let's talk about social life. And Tyler, maybe we'll start with you, and we can hear the same from Patricia. So ignoring COVID-19, because people may watch this a year from now and that's a thing of the distant past, hopefully. What's social life like? How much of it is engaging with your real estate peers? How much is engaging with people who aren't at all concentrated in real estate? What do you do? What's fun? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so the group that I'm closest with at UT is the real estate group, GRES, for sure. We're in a lot of classes together, and I see them outside of class as well. But there are, I have classmates in other groups or classes that I'm good friends with. But as far as the city itself, you're right, it's a tremendous place to go to school. I came from Chicago. I wanted to go to school somewhere where it doesn't snow all the time. And I could be outside. I have dogs, so I wanted to, be able to give them a yard and a place to stay. So Austin it feels like a big city, and that there's a lot to do, but it also feels smaller, in that you're not going to live in a shoebox the whole time, which is great. Great food, live music capital of the world. They say, I don't know, you talk to Vanderbilt, people in Nashville might have something to say about that. And then also, I really like being outdoors. I like running or biking or going fishing, and you can do all those things here. It's easy access to nature and being outside, which is great as well. And the weather, I mean, it gets hot in August, but for the rest of the year, it's pretty damn nice. So
we got Lake Travis to go play on all in August, so you keep cool on the lake. Yeah, I don't know if you spend any time on the lake. I tried to talk my wife into moving to Austin and buying a house right on the lake, and I take the kids out boating all the time, and she wasn't convinced of it. But so Patricia, what about you? Do you disagree with Tyler? Is it a boring place to live, or is Austin fun? Is Austin weird?
Austin is very fun. I will definitely agree with Tyler there. Yeah, and I lived in bigger cities before coming here, and like what I loved about Austin is it's so much easier to get around. Like it's the scale of it is a lot more easy to access, and I think there's a lot happening, and I think there's been this great momentum behind the city for the last 10 years, and I think it's really exploded recently, and it's good that we have access to a lot of really great like tech talent and music and entertainment. There's a lot of great industries that are here. It makes it just more fun to play around.
Sure. Well, we're low on time. Let's finish with one question. I'll kick it to both of you. Patricia, maybe we'll start with you. The most memorable event from your first year at UT, what would that be?
Oh man. Yeah, probably the real estate challenge.
Okay.
I just remember being very, very nervous to present and working with Isabel, who was the other first year on our team. Like we were just practicing all the time our presentation because we wanted to like get it down really perfect. And I think that was probably the most stressful, but also the most fun. So like that for me really stood out.
Great. And what about for you, Tyler?
That was definitely one for me as well. I would say the other one is just, interviewing. And I came from a non-traditional background. I didn't come from real estate. And then to not know a lot about real estate and to take these classes over the course of a year, and then all of the knowledge and practical experience we had, I was able to go into an interview and I worked analyzing REITs this summer, and they said, well, can you talk to us about REITs? And I just had gotten done giving a pitch in a class about office REITs. So I was able to, directly use that experience to secure an internship. So I just think that they give you a lot of great opportunities as far as the case challenges, classes, practical knowledge, like you said. And I really saw it. I really was able to apply and use that when it came to my career. So that was pretty awesome.
Great. Well, this has been really valuable. I'll kick it back to Sam to wrap it up. With Patricia and Tyler, thank you so much for contributing here. This will be very helpful for people.
Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. As always, we always learn a lot on these deep dives. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.